Hello, Commanders fans. Today we have some hot news that you can't miss, so get ready because there's a lot of important information coming your way. Before we begin, we'd like to take this opportunity to subscribe to the channel, activate the notification bell, and stay up to date on all the news about our Washington Commanders. Don't forget to leave a like, which greatly strengthens our community and helps bring this content to the most passionate fans of the team. Now, without further ado, let's get straight to today's news.
A trade involving Quan Martin could be advantageous for the Commanders. The Washington Commanders have some defensive issues that need to be addressed this offseason. Some of the solutions may lie in strengthening the secondary, and a trade could be the best way forward. Pro Football Focus columnist Bradley Locker suggests that Quan Martin could be a trade candidate this offseason. The aforementioned problems with Washington's defense were especially evident in the secondary, where the Commanders finished the year ranked 31st in PFF coverage. While general manager Adam Peters looks for reinforcements, Martin's position may be at risk, Locker wrote. The former player, selected in the second round of the draft, has not lived up to expectations in the professional ranks, receiving an overall grade of 57.8 and a coverage grade of 38.6 from PFF. This year, Martin allowed the highest passer rating when targeted, 151.8 at the position, in addition to allowing the seventh highest number of yards, 468. The Commanders have the fifth largest salary cap space, and players like Kevin Byard, Ardarius Washington, and others could be targets in the free agent market. In turn, the 25-year-old player could end up playing for another franchise. Trading Martin could make sense for the Commanders. Martin, selected in the second round of the 2023 NFL Draft, has one more year on his contract. The Commanders could try to renew it after the 2026 season, but there is also the possibility of him exploring other options outside the nation's capital, acting as a free agent. To ensure the Commanders receive something in return for Martin, Washington could get ahead of the game and try to trade him before the start of next season. This was the approach taken by the Commanders with running back Brian Robinson Jr., who was traded to the San Francisco 49ers during training camp. It is possible that general manager Adam Peters will adopt the same strategy for Martin that he used with Robinson. The Commanders don't need to trade Martin, who has shown signs of growth since joining the team, but an agreement in that regard is certainly possible.
A surprising trade proposal from the Commanders would solve the Jaguars' defensive line problems. The Jacksonville Jaguars have a lot of work ahead of them this offseason. Although they did a good job bolstering the roster last year, they will need to improve several areas if they want to return to the playoffs in 2026. One factor weighing against the Jaguars is the pressure on the salary cap, but if they can get some relief from that limit, they could make some trades that would lead them to victory. Recently, John Shipley of Sports Illustrated made 3 trade suggestions that would solve some of Jacksonville's most obvious needs. One of them would solve the team's problems on the inside defensive line. The Jaguars need to contact the Commanders to discuss Payne. There is no doubt that the Jaguars need to improve their performance at the defensive tackle position. To that end, John Shipley suggests they trade Payne, noting that the Washington Commanders veteran has been underperforming, but a change of scenery would help him bounce back. Payne will need a new contract soon, but his game certainly hasn't been unlocked since the coach signed Dan Quinn, Shipley wrote. The entire defense has suffered, and as a result, a high-level player like Payne now seems like he would fit better elsewhere. Payne is only 28 years old and can make a big impact against both the run and the pass, even with his recent underwhelming seasons. Payne is entering the final year of his contract, so trading him might not be prohibitively expensive. Let's say a 4th-round and a 6th-round pick close the deal, as happened with wide receiver Jacoby Myers. The Jaguars should definitely consider trying to sign him. The Commanders, for their part, would certainly welcome the possibility of parting with their 2018 first-round pick. After all, he represents a $28.01 million salary cap impact in 2026. Trading him would allow them to free up $16.81 million in salary cap space. It's true that Payne performed somewhat inconsistently in 2025, but far from terrible. In fact, his absence was noticeable at the end of the season when opposing teams had no difficulty overwhelming Washington. The former Alabama star averaged 33 total pressures per game over the last 3 seasons. Why would a trade for Payne boost the Jaguars' defense? The Jaguars allowed the fewest yards against the run in the NFL last year.
The Commanders are going to make a big impact. Washington should sign a receiver with 18 career touchdowns. The Washington Commanders are slated to make a blockbuster signing in free agency with the arrival of running back Breece Hall, a move that would reshape the team's offense. The projection comes amid concerns about Washington's running game and the team's need for a reliable and explosive running back to complement the growing passing attack. Hall enters the offseason as one of the best running backs available on the market after a season with over 1,000 yards and demonstrating versatility as both a runner and receiver. Washington finished the season near the bottom of the league in DVOA from the running game and lacked a consistent starting running back due to injuries and inconsistent results from younger players. From a schematic standpoint, Hall's skill set fits into schemes that emphasize zone concepts and space creation, allowing the quarterback to rely on a complementary running game. The Commanders have a competent offensive line and a quarterback who can benefit from fewer long third down situations. A true running back would allow the offense to control the pace and shorten opponents' possessions, a strategic benefit for a team still rebuilding its defense. Financially, the signing wouldn't be trivial. Hall should receive an elite contract for a running back, and Washington needs to balance salary cap priorities among several positions that need reinforcements. The contract structure will be important. An incentive-based deal could limit short-term risks while offering Hall growth potential tied to his usage and health. NFL analysis predicts the Washington Commanders will negotiate the signing of Breece Hall. Washington may be in the running to sign Hall for next season. This is detailed in an analysis by Aaron Schatz for ESPN. Big prediction for the offseason. The Commanders will make a big impact by signing running back Breece Hall, a talented runner and receiver who will be just 25 years old next season. Rookie running back Jackery Krosky-Merritt has failed to make an impact in the league, and Chris Rodriguez Jr. hasn't performed spectacularly either. Washington finished 23rd in the DVOA rankings for rushing offense this season. For the Jets, Hall's potential departure would leave a considerable gap in the backfield and force urgent decisions regarding the roster or contracts. For Washington, the acquisition would signal a pursuit of immediate wins and give the coaching staff a proven game changer to build the team into 2026. If the Commanders manage to secure Hall, the signing will represent one of the most significant offensive reinforcements available this spring. The offseason will test whether Washington is willing to invest to transform a problematic rushing offense into a genuine complementary weapon.